I want to start off, Rabotai, with the words of David HaMelech. Mi ha'ish hachafetz chaim. Who's a person that wants life? Says David HaMelech. When David HaMelech says something, we listen. Mi ha'ish hachafetz chaim. Who wants life? Ohev yamim lirot tov. Wants to have good in his years, good days. Olam hazeh, olam haba. Who doesn't want good? Who doesn't want tov? The whole world is looking for segulot. The whole world is looking for yeshua, for salvation that will give them beracha. David HaMelech over here is screaming, Mi ha'ish hachafetz chaim. Who wants life? Ohev yamim lirot tov, and wants to have a good life in this world. His days will be good in this world and the next world. Netzol leshoncha mira. Stop speaking Lashon Hara. Now we know this Lashon Hara topic is already coming out of our ears since we're little kids. We hear, don't speak Lashon Hara, don't speak Lashon Hara. But who really doesn't speak Lashon Hara? How careful really is a person from not speaking Lashon Hara? There's a Rebbe in Lakewood. His name is Menachem. He has, and I have the USB right here, and hopefully they're going to give it out, Chacham Rabbi. I have a USB over here that he told me to give out. He has over 300 stories, no exaggeration. 300 stories of people, his personal stories. He's a Rebbe in Lakewood, in the Lakewood Cheder. His name is Menachem. He has over 300 stories of people that he knows personally that started learning every single day the laws of Lashon Hara, Chafetz Chaim, Shmirat HaLashon. In English, in Hebrew, in Yiddish, whatever you want. Started learning it every single day consistently. And within 40 days, 3 months, 6 months, unbelievable Yeshuot salvations. Over here I have the USB, over 300 stories. It's unbelievable. One of the stories that he told me was, this is crazy, this is a Lakewood couple who didn't have children, unfortunately, for 10 years. That's extremely painful. Should never happen to any person. No children for 10 years. That's extremely, extremely painful. They feel lonely, they feel lost, they don't know what's the future going to bring them. It's terrifying. It's a terrifying feeling. 10 years, no children. They went to the Sir Menachem last June and told him, Rabbi, we need a Yeshua. And this is a very, very religious couple. We need a Yeshua, we need salvation. 10 years, we went to doctors, we went to different rabbis for berachot. We need salvation. He told them, start learning, the husband and the wife, start learning this book. Chafetz Chaim Shmirat HaLashon. I even brought a few. This is how much I care. This book, Chafetz Chaim Shmirat HaLashon. Order this on Art School. I'm not getting a percentage. Chafetz Chaim Shmirat HaLashon every single day. Your husband and your wife. They started learning it. They listened to him last June. By the end of August, not that they were allowed to do that, but they did it anyways. At the end of August, they already emailed the rabbi's wife the sonogram of the new baby. 10 years, no children. Within 3 months, they learned this book. Every single day, boom, they already had a child. There was another couple in Lakewood. For 6 years, no kid. 6 years. They started learning this book, Chafetz Chaim Shmirat HaLashon. They had a baby this year. There was a couple in Lakewood, 3 kids in Shidduchim who did not get married. 3 kids were supposed to get married who were already older singles, did not get married. This happened to our Menachem himself, his own children. Him and his wife started learning this book together. His wife told him, Rabbi, you have all these yeshuot for the rest of the world. You're a little bit of a hypocrite because me and you have children in Shidduchim and they're not married. So he told her, you know what the problem is? The problem is that me and you don't learn it together. We have to learn this every single day together, this book, to make an awareness how to stop speaking Lashon Hara. Nobody wants to speak Lashon Hara. The problem is we forget. How do you stop the problem of forgetting when you learn it consistently every single day and you're aware not to speak Lashon Hara? So Menachem and his wife started learning this every single day. Now listen to this. This is unbelievable. Breaking news. Not a story from 100 years ago, a story from a year ago in Lakewood. The same year, Bli Ayin Hara, 3 weddings. 3 of their single kids got engaged and married in the same year as soon as they started learning Chafetz Chaim Shmirat HaLashon together. A couple of months ago, there was a couple when the doctors told this pregnant woman, you're in danger. Your child has a very bad heart condition. It should never happen to any person. Maybe he'll survive, and if he will survive, we need tons of surgeries. You're in danger. This was when she's already 5 months pregnant, 6 months. They went to this Rebbe, Rabbi Menashe, and they told him, we need a Yeshua. He told them, learn this book every single day. You're going to have a Yeshua. And Baruch Hashem, they had the baby. The birth went well, and the baby was not a little bit not perfect, perfectly fine. And the doctor said he was there for 33 years, a doctor in Philadelphia. For 33 years, he told this couple, never did I ever witness such a quick birth and such a healthy baby with such a condition. This is all true stories, first-hand stories. When people start learning every single day, Chafetz Chaim Shmirat Lashon. I had another fellow that called me up, if that story wasn't enough. His name is Rabbi, he did not tell me his name, but he told me his company's name. That's funny, actually. He has a company in Lakewood called Menachem Dips, for those who are hungry. It's called Menachem Dips in Kugel. And he told me to be mefarsem to advertise his name. This guy is a Hasidic Jew, very hush of a person. He actually speaks on Kol Mevaser. That's a Yiddish competition of Torah anytime, for now. And he has like 15,000 listeners to his classes. And what exactly is this topic of his classes, this person, Menachem Dips, who was literally on the phone with me a couple of days ago and told me the details? His topic of the clips is always segulot. Who wants a segula for marriage? Who wants a segula for children? Segula for panasah, for health? Meanwhile, he told me his own daughter, especially in the Hasidic circles, you're past 18, 19, you consider it as if you're 40. And she started feeling very lonely, and it was a lot of tzal for his daughter. And he said it's very hard as a parent when your child is supposed to get married and nobody's even calling for a shidduch. It was extremely painful. And he was wondering, I went to so many rabbis. He said he went to Kivret Tzadikim. He gave tzedakot. He flew to Israel, which is all perfectly fine and should be done. But to him, it didn't help. And he said he started feeling embarrassed. I'm Mr. Segulis, and my own daughter is not getting engaged. Then he tapped into this book, Chafetz Chaim Shmirat Lashon by Art School. Him and his wife started learning it together, Rabotai. Within 40 days, his daughter was engaged. Parashat Shlach. 40 days, his daughter was engaged this year, Parashat Shlach. Do you hear this? Kivret Tzadikim, Tzedakot, all the different segulot. He started learning the awareness of Lashon Hara every single day. Boom! The Yeshua came within 40 days, his daughter is engaged. And he told me, Rabbi, I want to tell you, not that I'm a person that speaks Lashon Hara. He told me he's around 80% never speaks Lashon Hara, and he said his wife can testify, and that means a lot. But he still wanted to take upon himself the Kabbalah, to never speak Lashon Hara again, and learn the book every single day. Just taking upon yourself, learning it, makes a tremendous difference. Oh, how about this one last story? How about this principal in Lakewood? His name is Rabbi Gabioff. He's the principal of a school called Shagas Aryeh. He's a principal. Close to 20 years ago, he had extremely painful blisters on his feet. It was so painful, the doctors told him, you're most probably going to walk. Unfortunately, you're going to be in a wheelchair. You can't walk anymore. That's how bad it was. They had no refuah, no medicine for the condition. It got so bad, he told me, that the blisters transferred to his tongue. So now he was barely able to talk. And the doctors are telling him, Dr. Presley, he's a doctor in Lakewood. And the doctors are telling him, we don't know, for now take painkillers. He told me this pain was going on for 5 years. 5 years he has blisters, real pain. He started learning Chafetz Chaim Shmirat Lashon with his wife. They started learning it together. He told me that within 6 months, he notices that the blisters are going down. He didn't take medicine, only painkillers. He goes to the doctor, Dr. Pressure, tells him what's going on. He tells him, Nes Gadol Haya Po, said the doctor. A great miracle happened over here in my office. Your blisters disappeared, not only in your feet, soon your tongue. Within 1 year, Rabotai, he told me everything was gone. To this day, he's healthy. And he learns every single day, Chafetz Chaim Shmirat Lashon. Our whole lives we heard about not speaking Lashon Hara. But how careful is a person not to really speak Lashon Hara? The Chafetz Chaim tells us, you want to know why you don't want to speak Lashon Hara? And he says it many times in Shmirat Lashon. One of the main things that stop Hashem from giving beracha, blessings to a person, Shefa, is always being thrown upon us from Shamayim. Like the Ramchal says, the sun could be beaming outside midday. But if you decide to close the window shades, the sun is not coming in. Hashem is still beaming, the sun is still beaming, the light is still there, but you decided to close the light for coming into your room by closing the window shades. Hashem's beracha, Hashem's shefa is always beaming. Beracha, beracha, beracha. But you can have humans that damage their own lives and speak Lashon Hara, says the Chafetz Chaim. When you speak Lashon Hara, you're closing the pipes. You're closing the window shades. The shefa can't come into your life. Lashon Hara is extremely damaging. Says the Chafetz Chaim, a person who speaks Lashon Hara, Hashem doesn't want to get involved in his life. He stinks. He doesn't even want to go near him. That's the words of the Chafetz Chaim. He smells too much from Averot. I don't want to deal with such a guy. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lashon Hara is extremely damaging. A person who takes upon himself not to talk Lashon Hara and learning this book or any book from the Chafetz Chaim. The point is being real about it, to try to take upon yourself to stop speaking Lashon Hara. This person has 300 stories of Yeshuot from people who started learning this book. Many, many, many stories. Every person that takes upon himself to start learning this will have a tremendous Yeshua. This stopped the Bet HaMikdash from being rebuilt this year. This destroyed the Bet HaMikdash. Baruch Hashem, we keep Shabbat. Baruch Hashem, we keep kosher, and there's many work to do. There's other Jews who are not, that we have to work on. But now let's talk about ourselves. Us, the people that are zocheh, that merited to be Orthodox Jews. Lashon Hara needs to be worked on. Like the Gemara in Yerushalmi says, if the Bet HaMikdash was not built the year that you're in, that means we had in our hands to build it. If we didn't, we destroyed it. Let's take upon ourselves, Rabotai, to really not talk any more Lashon Hara. To really try learning the book every single day in Hebrew and English, and make an awareness that Golem of Venus is something very scary. The Golem of Venus writes in his letter that he wrote, Igor Sagra, to his wife and his children. He told them, let me freak you guys out a little bit. See, Tisha B'Av, can I freak them out? Chacham Reuven, I can do it, right? Okay. By the way, I wanted to mention, last year's Tisha B'Av speech, even communist China is watching this, because last year they took down my video from TikTok. You should just know, I'm just saying. So just to make an awareness here, China is watching. Hey, be careful, China. What was it up to? Hanukkah? Oh, scary story. So the Golem of Venus says like this. He says, we know there's something called kafakela. Baruch Hashem, Sfardim talk about these things. Something called kafakela. What's kafakela? When a person passes away, his neshama leaves his body like a slingshot. Remember the old slingshots when we were boys? You put a rock at the end and you hit your friend with it, unfortunately. So too, the neshama leaves the body, kafakela, like a slingshot. And it goes across the whole world. I'm making it sound all cartoonish, but it's scary. It goes across the whole world. That's what happens when a person passes away. A person who passes away on Shabbat does not go through kafakela. That's you always have to daven. Hashem, when it's my time to go, please make sure it's Shabbat, because you don't want to go through kafakela. Says the Golem of Venus, what is the source? What is the cause of this pain called kafakela? Says the Golem of Venus, chet halashon, hevel piv sheben adam. When a person doesn't watch his mouth, he says that is the shoresh, that is the main problem that causes the pain of kafakela. When a person is not careful not to speak Lashon Hara, this is the Golem of Venus talking. You know what that means? The Golem of Venus, he knew all the secrets of the Torah. And he's telling us, watch how you talk. Stop speaking Lashon Hara. It's serious stuff. Don't only listen to it. Practice it. And I'm talking to myself, big talker. Practice it. No more Lashon Hara. Start being more aware how damaging Lashon Hara is. Says the Chafetz Chaim, nobody wants others to talk about him behind his back. It's very uncomfortable when you know someone is talking about you, about bad things you did behind your back. Says the Chafetz Chaim, midah keneged midah. You don't want someone talking about you behind your back? Start being careful not to talk about others behind their back. If you do talk about other people behind their back, he says it's anan sahadi, which means in English it's almost automatic. You should just know, set sure, whatever it's called, you should be sure that somebody right now is talking about you behind your back. It's midah keneged midah. Says the Chafetz Chaim, when one talks Lashon Hara, he's me'orer, he awakens a bad demon in Shamayim. And that bad demon goes to Hashem, runs to Hashem, and he says, Hashem, Look at this guy. He's always talking negative about his friend. He always had a bad outlook about his friend. Is he any better? Says the Malach HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The angel goes to Hashem and he says, Hashem, why are you so merciful with this guy? He does avirot, here and there, but he does avirot. Why do you forgive him? He's not forgiven of others. Look, he right away tells the person, oh, you did this. Oh, you're a horrible person. You did the same exact thing just yesterday and you think you're perfectly fine. So the Malach goes to Hashem and he tells him, look, he's talking Lashon Hara. He doesn't have mercy on others. He's not mavater, he's not forgiven. He doesn't have ayin tovah, doesn't have a good eye on his friend. Why should you have rachmanut on him? And chas v'shalom, it's me'orer Hashem to say, you're right. Let me start working with deen, with judgment with this person. No more rachmanut. This Chafetz Chaim brings down, Rabotai. This is pashut stuff. Lashon Hara is extremely damaging. It might be chas v'shalom, a boring and overspoken topic. But how many people really practice it? How much does a person really stop speaking Lashon Hara? And it destroyed the Bet HaMikdash and destroying it every single year. And it's an opportunity that we have every single day to control our mouth. The Golem of Venus says, when one controls his mouth not to talk Lashon Hara, he reaches a level of kedusha, of holiness, that the greatest melachim can't even reach him. When you bolem piv, you're about to say Lashon Hara and you go, I'm not speaking Lashon Hara. The zechut you have from doing that is greater than the biggest malachim, says the Golem of Venus. How many opportunities every single day do we have not to talk Lashon Hara? Lashon Hara is very damaging, and I brought you so many stories of how many yeshuot and salvation that comes from not speaking Lashon Hara, just from learning this book, Chafetz Chaim Shmirat HaLashon. Try to take upon yourself and to be real about it. Let me start learning it with a friend. Let me start learning it with my mother, with my father, as parents every single day. It will bring you tremendous yeshuot. I'm going to end off with the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva, Zecher Tzaddik V'Kol Shavracha, Rabbi Yehuda Zev Segel from England. And it's famous that he said this, and he was a great tzaddik and a very kadosh person, very holy person. I heard this from my mashgiach, from Tisel Salman, he should be healthy of Lakewood. And I heard this from Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Yitzchak Sorotzin Shlita from Lakewood. That they know he said this, haftacha, this promise. He gave any person, if you want to communicate the words, I'm just too lazy to take it out. He wrote like this, I have not seen, this is in English, I have not seen a person who has learned 2 halachot of Shmirat HaLashon every day, who hasn't been helped with having children, finding a marriage partner, recovering from an illness, earning a livelihood, or having properly raising the children. And Rav Segel continues and he wrote, and I heard this from my own Rebbeim, whoever learns every single day Sefer Chafetz Chaim, he would personally act as his defender in Shemaim to Hashem. Listen to those words. Whoever learns every single day Sefer Chafetz Chaim, that Tzaddik himself would personally act as his defender in Shemaim. There was a story on Lakewood, Rabotai. I'm going to end off with this, even though I said it 10 times. There was a story on Lakewood of a person who heard all these stories. He was 36 years old, divorced. He went over to the rabbi, this Rav Menashe, and he told him, I don't believe all your stories. I don't believe all these stories. The rabbi tells him, come to the side. Rav Menashe started giving this guy musal, this 36-year-old divorced guy. You know what your problem is? You're not learning enough Chafetz Chaim. That's you think it's not true. You haven't seen the Yeshua. Start learning Chafetz Chaim. And he spoke to him. They left off, not in good terms. Since 6 months later, this person knocks on the door of Rav Menashe. What's in his hand? And I even brought it for you. See him in Shakir? What's in his hand? A wedding invitation. Tells him, Rabbi, even though it sounded I'm not going to listen to you, I started learning Chafetz Chaim Shmirat HaLashon. Happened this year. 6 months later, he's already coming to the rabbi and inviting him with a wedding invitation. Now, obviously, I can't show you what his name is, but it's nice enough that he gave him the invitation to show everybody else, because he wants the world to know this is not a joke. This is serious stuff. You want a Yeshua? Start learning about Shmirat Lashon and Chavetz Chaim every single day. It will give you tremendous beracha. It will give you Yeshuot. Daven to Hashem when you learn the Sefer. I am learning this. The Bezrat Hashem shall have this Yeshua, this salvation. People left and right, Rabotai, are getting good news. So over here, I share with you a secret. I'm giving you gold. I'm giving you a gift. Start learning for real and take it upon yourself. Within 40 days, 3 months, Bezrat Hashem, you're going to see a Yeshua. Take it seriously. Thank you so much for listening. The USBs are being given out. My USBs and Reb Menashe's USBs, 300 stories. I have it in the black bag, in the bag, wherever wants it. It's for free.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.